Okay, so there are, in my understanding, two main types of these sacred contracts. One type of a sacred contract is the one we make with other people, and the other type of a sacred contract is the one we make with our own self. Let's start from the beginning. What I will describe to you now is a simplified form of what's happening in the world of spirit. When a soul leaves one embodiment, one incarnation, and is in a spirit world, it goes through a period of rest, and then before coming into incarnation, into birth, it goes through what is known as the judgment hall and in front of the members of the karmic board. Now, I will describe about the concepts of judgment hall and karmic board another time, but what I want to share with you today is that during that interaction with the members of the karmic board, the soul determines with them a plan, an outline about its human life in the next incarnation. This very much depends on the performance of the soul during its previous incarnations. Because what happens is that every thought, every word and action that the soul puts forward is an energy which goes outwards to the universe and in a circular form. So it eventually returns back to the soul, to the person. Now, if it's a strong charge, this energy has a long-term implication, and it might take a long time to return. It could even take births. If it doesn't have so much strength, then the experience brings a more immediate response. So whatever we are sending out eventually will come back to us. In simple terms, if we are sending out a balanced energy, then this increases the reservoirs of our light. In addition, this energy will return back to us in a form of what we would call good luck or good fortune. But if the energy we are sending out is imbalanced, that eventually will also come back to us, and it comes with the experience of suffering, of pain, of misfortune. So as per the law of circle, to be able to handle the return of these circles based on the lessons that the soul has to learn, the karmic board decides how much really the soul can take on board and how much settlement it can handle in one birth. Then that soul creates other arrangements with other people or with the self to be able to fulfill its obligations towards the universe. So these are the sacred contracts. So in other words, how it will receive the return of good karma and return of negative karma based on the law of cause and effect. So we decide and we get into agreement with other souls as to what their role would be in our connection with us to be able to fulfill that obligation. However, we also create contracts that we sign with our own self. Now, when we come in embodiment, we know we have some lessons to learn. Through that embodiment, there is a conscious, but in most of the time, a subconscious choice of the lessons we wish to learn, which are included in the original pre-birth contract. If at some point in our life we become aware of this contract, we have the permission to consciously decide that we do not want this contract anymore. Then, as per the law of free choice and free will, we can cancel it and we can rewrite a new one. Now, in my understanding, what happens in this situation is that we either postpone what needs to be learned because at the moment we feel we just can't handle it, or we don't want to handle it, or alternatively, we have gained the clarity as to what we have learned through the lesson of this specific contract we have signed, and we are still in because mainly of habit. If it is the second case, it's what's known as being in a training hologram. Sometimes we are in such training holograms for such a long time that it becomes our present reality, and we don't know how to get out of it. By recognizing this, it becomes for us a good opportunity to be able to cancel that contract and be released from it. And so stop playing the same scenario again and again, or experiencing the same situation again and again. So there are ways that we are able to consciously cancel such contracts. Either it is with self or with others. So is there something that for you it has come into your conscious awareness and you can figure it out in terms of seeing the repetitive scenarios in your life? Just check. If there is something that you don't want anymore and you are ready to release it so you can move on, discover what you have actually learned from this experience and state to the universe and the karmic board that you are ready to graduate from this class, that you are ready to move on, and request that this contract is being cancelled, and so then you are able to form a new one. When you are forming a new one, be very careful to how you word it, in a way that it doesn't leave any gaps, any openings, any misunderstandings or misinterpretations. Be very clear on what you ask for from now on, and if it is appropriate, then the change will be able to take place. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. It would be very interesting for me to know what you think about sacred contracts, and if you feel that you are aware of the existence of some of them in your life. So do comment below, and if you have liked this video, subscribe and make sure you share it with your friends. So until next time, you take care and be empowered. Bye for now.